Nobody deserves to work forever. Come on, that would mean working right until your 80s or 90s. But have you ever considered the possibility that some of your current habits might keep pushing you toward working forever? Yeah, that's right. There are tons of habits that could affect your current and future finance in negative ways. And what are these habits to avoid? Well, let's find out together, shall we? Welcome to the Base Thought, the place where the future billionaire come to get inspired. Number 1. Not saving. It can be quite easy to dismiss the need for saving. If you're earning quite a lot of money each month, you probably think to yourself, this job pays me a whole lot. I really shouldn't bother with saving right now. I can do it later. Well, to a certain extent, you'd be right. But have you ever considered the chance of losing the job? Or do you expect to work this job forever? Of course not. Saving, whether a retirement saving plan or an emergency fund account, is to prepare us for the rainy days ahead, so that when things do go sideways, you're not left with nothing. Let's imagine for a moment you fail to save while you earn $1,000 each month. Then you suddenly lose the job and you have to borrow some money from your friends and family just to survive. And then, right after getting a new job, you have to pay them back that you owed, which means you have to work even longer at this job before you have enough for yourself. And if you fail to save again, well, the circle will go on and on. Number 2. Poor money habits. If you spend without a budget, or you constantly find yourself overspending, you just might be putting yourself future at financial risk. Knowing the value of the money and the importance of the fragility remains one of the key ways to develop positive money habits. And having good money habits will in turn help you saving more, make better financial decisions, and save you from the trap of a lifestyle inflation. Number 3. Lifestyle inflation. Would your lifestyle get way more expensive if you found a new job that pays higher than your current job? If your answer to this question is yes, you are only a few steps closer to falling into a trap of a lifestyle inflation. Now, lifestyle inflation forces you to increase your cost of living, usually due to the fact that you are now earn more. But while this might seem like a harmless habit, is one that is bound to cause financial harm in the long run. When you start to earn more, don't make the mistake of thinking that certain luxuries are now necessaries, as this will only create a large hole in your financials. Number 4. Impulse buying. Do you find yourself constantly buying items you didn't previously plan before? Well, you are a victim of the impulse buying virus. Impulse buying is another habit that might seem quite harmless at first, as long as you can comfortably afford it, right? Well, you might be able to afford this. It's only a matter of time before the chunk of your income is spent toward other impulse items. Eventually, this makes it impossible to save, and you'll soon find it difficult to afford your basic necessities. And if this goes on for longer, you can have no option other than to work several years as you make up for all the money you lost on impulse purchases. Number 5. Obsessed with the present. What's your default response to a problem you don't have an immediate solution to? Do you keep working on a solution until you find one? Or do you simply choose to ignore it? And the number of people choose to ignore the problems they can't tackle, especially when it comes to their future needs. However, no matter how much you ignore your future problems, they will one day be right before you. So even if you decide to get lost in the present, believing that the future will somehow save itself, you might have just landed yourself a receipt for disaster. If you don't want to work for every year of your life, now is the time to start making plans for your future. Factor it into everything that you do, your budget, spending, lifestyle, even what you eat. You should be gearing up for retirement way before official retirement page. Number 6. Poor debt management. Let's face it, okay? It's practically impossible to totally avoid the debt today's world, but you definitely can decide how much these debts will affect your financial. If you constantly find yourself missing to repayment, this might reflect the fact that you don't make adequate plans to repay this loan, and missing your payment could result in higher interest, which would then bite into the money meant for other things. As improbable as it might sound, refusing to pay your loan at the right align can cause you to work well into your old age. Number 7. Waiting for a miracle. When you constantly find yourself in a difficult financial situation, it becomes natural to hope that a higher power will get involved and a miracle will happen. But we all know this never happened. You aren't just going to suddenly win the lottery exactly time when you need it, or discover your parents left you a hefty amount of money. The reality is, if you fail to take a charge of your financial situation, it will inevitably lead to ruin and waiting for a miracle. Here's why. That very likely have you working forever. When you're expecting a miracle, you're ridding yourself of control. You start to believe your finances are totally out of your hand, and only a miracle can save you. And unfortunately, losing control of your finances are perhaps the quickest way to financial ruin. Number 8. Staying at the job that pays peanuts. Do you believe you've got the potential to make much more money? Of course you do. Then why you are slaving away at a job that pays you less than you deserved? Rather than staying at the job that pays you peanut, equip yourself with the better paying skills and keep your eyes open for more opportunities. In fact, you can renegotiate a higher pay with your employer when you have new or a better qualification. And the most importantly, we understand that the concept of resigning and finding a new job is a very pretty scary process. What if you don't find the job that meets your financial expectations? But have you considered the possibility on the other side of the coin? What if you find a better paying job away, better paying job? Now that would be something that you're looking to it, right? Number 9. Gambling. There is no other way to say this, but gambling will ruin your finances to the point where you cannot be saved. Not convinced? Let's look at some interesting facts you might have missed. For starters, you have a 1 in 292 million chances of winning the jackpot in a Powerball drawing, and your chances are also quite slim in the world of the sport betting, blackjack or poker. If gambling is a consistent part of your daily life, so much as it eats into your work and personal hours, you are very likely setting yourself up for a life total servitude. However, if you make decision to quit today, your future self give you a pat on the back of the decision. Gambling can absolutely escalate to addiction status, and to quit. Professional help might be needed, but what it will be, your answer determines the sort of life you will live in the future. Number 10. Short-term mindset. As you probably already guessed, your mindset has a direct influence on your present and future. If your mindset is fixed on the present, then everything you do will reflect this sentiment. However, if you make decision to set long-term goals, like plan for your future or retirement, then you stand a higher chance of not working forever. What do early retirees all have in common? A long-term mindset. A long-term mindset not only teaches you to plan for the future, it also encourages you to make the most of the present, because you know that its outcome will determine what the future looks like. Number 11. Procrastination. What's the world's most valuable currency? The COVID dinar, dollar, or euro? Well, in the world of the foreign exchange, you might be right, but in real life, we all know that time is our most prized currency, and this is largely due to the fact you cannot regain lost time, no matter how much you try. Procrastination prevents you from doing the right thing at the right time. It fills you with the illusion that you've got more time, causing you to push important things until they no longer matter. If you are a chronic procrastinator, it's only a matter of time before this behavior creeps into your financial life. Number 12. Not investing in knowledge. Knowledge is a power, and we don't mean it figuratively. Knowledge fills you with the power to control situations, to tilt your life in the direction you want it. Take for instance, you invest hours each day into owning your financial knowledge. Naturally, this will make you less likely to fall into most of the financial traps we've mentioned earlier, including lifestyle inflation and poor debt habits. Investing in knowledge could also mean a decision to equip yourself with new skills, which in turn could be an opportunity to discuss a higher pay with your employer. Even more interesting is the fact that you can use this knowledge to build a passive income. Sounds pretty good, right? Number 13. Staying in your comfort zone. As humans, we find peace in familiar surroundings, in familiar situation, and this familiarity produces a sense of certainty, and it creates the illusion that you are in charge. But here's something you already know, but aren't willing to admit. You are in your comfort zone, and you need to get out of it to avoid working forever. And staying in your comfort zone prevent you from taking risk by stopping you from reaching your full potential, and could make you stay at the poor paying job for years. And if you could realize this,